Right, let's call the meeting to order. It is 6:37. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance.
Father, a nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Mason.
Here.
Trustee Luther.
Here.
Trustee McNeil. Here. Trustee Martinez.
Here.
Trustee Pierce is absent. Trustee Peterson is absent. Mayor Gurke.
Here. Okay, so we have a full house tonight. We have a busy agenda, and I am going to start the meeting with recognition of a local Eagle Scout, Joseph Hedich. Is he here?
Yeah.
Oh, there he is. Why don't you stand up or come up here somewhere close to the front? So this was a couple meetings ago. Trustee Martinez, I think the sponsor, had done some work with Joseph and asked that we recognize Joseph. So I know it's a rare honor for somebody to make it all the way up to Eagle Scouts. The club is, I'm sure it's PAC 111, is that right?
That's where I started.
That's where you started. Okay, so that was from 2016 to 2019. And then also was a Weeblo Scout in those same years. He was part of Boy Scout Troop 92, a scout in August of 2021, working his way all the way up through the different ranks to Eagle Scout in May of this year. Is that correct?
Yes.
What was your project for the Eagle Scout?
My project was the beautification of the Anderson Memorial Scout House. So if you go right behind the sawmill on Cunningham, you'll see my project. If you get a chance, please drive by it. I know it can be sometimes weird with the weather, but it looks really nice. So if you can, just go check it out.
And then there were some other, a lot of merit badges, a lot of badges. 49 to be exact. One of them was golf, so I know one guy you could beat here at this table for sure. Okay, hi. Okay, so yeah, lots of interesting ones. What was your favorite merit badge that you earned?
Probably my favorite one would have to have been search and rescue.
Okay, very nice, very nice. So, what's next on your journey with this? Dad's footsteps, or
kind of Dad's footsteps.
Yeah.
I'm also currently a sergeant with the Lake County Sheriff's Office, who I actually have one of my advisors here tonight, Mr. Kuhn, also from the American Legion, but kind of working more with the Explorer Post and seeing what else I can do with helping with scouts, given that we've gotten a lot of new scouts.
Very good, thank you. And I know they consolidate some troops this year from scouts. Is that what I said?
Yeah,
make sure you keep them going and recruit them at those schools if you can. All right, thank you again. We have two long overdue appointments tonight. The first one is going to be appoint Brian Parks to the PZB board, replacing Samantha Mish with a term ending 2029. Mr. Parks is here tonight. Madam Clerk, do you want to? Oh, I need a motion in a second. Sorry. Motion, Trustee Bluthart. Second, Trustee McNeil. Roll call, please.
Mason.
Yes.
Luther.
Yes.
McNeil. Yes. Martinez.
Yes.
We're voting yes, motion carries. I'm waiting for two others. Okay, so why don't you swear him in, Madam Clerk? Thank you.
I, Brian Parks, having been appointed as member of the Combined Planning Commission and Zoning Board of Appeals of the Village of Antioch in the County of Lake, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Illinois, that I will faithfully discharge the duties of Planning and Zoning Commissioner to the best of my ability.
I will. Thank you. I also have an appointment of James Millard to the Police Pension Board, replacing Mr. Belushi with a term ending in 28. Hi, James. I ask for a motion and a second to confirm that appointment. So, motion, Trustee Mason. Second, Trustee Bluthart. Roll call, please.
Mason.
Yes.
Bluthart.
Yes.
McNeil. Yes. Martinez.
Yes.
We're voting yes, motion carries. Mr. Millard, you mind being sworn in?
Do it like this.
Millard, has been appointed as member of the Police Pension Board of the Village of Antioch in the County of Lake. Do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Illinois, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of Police Pension Board member to the best of my ability. I will.
Thank you. We have a proclamation here. Is there anybody here from for National Payroll Week? Anybody? Okay. We have a proclamation. I won't read the whole thing. I'll summarize it. But there's 20,000 members that have launched a public awareness campaign to pay tribute to the 150 million people who work in the United States and pay payroll professionals paying wages. Payroll departments collectively spend more than 2.7 trillion on their myriad of federal, state, and tax payroll laws. This week, therefore, in the week in which Labor Day falls, has been proclaimed National Payroll Week. I hereby give additional support to the efforts of the people who work in Illinois and the payroll professionals by proclaiming the first full week of September Payroll Week for Illinois. There you go. Thank you. All right. I think we have a notion on this one, but I knew that. We do have a retirement this week, which will cause a big void in the Public Works Department. I want to thank Dave Hansen. Is Dave here? Okay, Dave Hansen, who is former Mayor Larry Hansen's brother, for working 34 years in the Public Works, and congratulate him on his retirement. Here's an excerpt from the minutes when he was hired in 1992. A motion was made by Trustee Amundson, seconded by Trustee Cunningham to hire Dave Hansen for the Public Works Department at a whopping $8.96 an hour, starting August 31st, 1992. He was voted in by everybody, and his brother passed when he was on the board as trustee. I believe that the Public Works Director, Dennis, may have some words to say about Dave. If you have family members looking, there are a couple positions open because of retirements and filling positions for Public Works, but Dave has pretty much run the water department or a big part of it for a long time. So
yeah, thank you, Mayor. You spoke about most of it. Dave, he's ending his 34-year career with the village on Monday, the 31st, which he started the 31st of August in 1992, as mentioned. He played a couple different roles within the few first years that he was here in 92, working janitorial or maintenance on vehicles and so forth. And then eventually becoming water department supervisor in 2002, where he mentored the previous water supervisor, obtaining his license and so forth. He's done a great job. I've worked the past 15 years directly with him as the director of the department, very closely together on many projects, and hopefully working in a great manner and leader with him. I hope that that respect has traveled to him. I think it has, and we will celebrate tomorrow with him as a team, the Public Works team. The one thing I'd like to say, Dave was an extremely dedicated employee. One of the most dedicated employees. All my employees are, but Dave, he was available 24/7, weekend, weekday, and you have to be, especially in the water and sewer department, because you never know if there's going to be a water main break, a sewer backup, a lift station failure. He wasn't just there to be on call and report in. He was available by phone to assist with the duty individual that was on a 24/7 call. So I just want to extend my appreciation for that commitment, and I hope that the employees that worked with him seen that and absorb that, because that's part of the Public Works role within the community. It's serving the public and being available 24/7 pretty much. He took great pride in serving the public. He was the forefront to a lot of reports from residents on what have been rusty water or a backup. Being in the supervised role, he was meeting with residents with these complaints, and he was truly a great individual to do that. Sometimes with some of these issues that he dealt with, he took it a little bit far just because he had a huge heart, and he would go a little bit extra. If someone had a leaky toilet that was causing their water meter to run more, he would actually go through the house and check the toilets instead of telling them to call a plumber. And I just think that level of service and dedication to the town. They grew up in Antioch, graduated here, his parents did, but his willingness to step up whenever needed, care for the residents and fellow employees, helping them. His hard work and commitment have made a lasting impact on the village. And on behalf of the village, I want to congratulate him on his retirement and wish him the best for his next chapter. I think he'll still be available to help. So, congratulations.
You can do a mentor job.
Also, um, quite a few work anniversaries. Like you said, Dave Hansen's 34-year anniversary is this month. Gina Split, our records supervisor, has been here 10 years. Michaela Zamora, police officer, has been here 5-year anniversary. Robin Richards, records assistant, 1 year. Paul Clem has been with us for 19 years in the police department. Wes Kumpala has been here for 9 years. Sorry, Paul has been here 19 years. Wes has been here 9 years. Kelly Posen has been here 2 years as a records assistant, and Becky Kijak, who has been a senior accountant and will be taking a bigger role next year as the finance director, has been here a year, tutoring with Michael Peterson. Usually call if I see him, but he's not here. Okay. All right, and then a couple more items. We will get to this. Everyone's comments here in a moment. As you may or may have seen, the Daily Herald, the village, and some of the businesses won the awards. Congratulate a couple local businesses. Family Heirloom Antiques won the best antique shop in the region. The Stubborn Sunflower won 3 categories: Best Suburban Business, Best General Merchandise Store, and Best Consignment Store. And the Village of Antioch won 2 awards itself for the distribution area: the Best Outdoor Site, which was Sequoia Creek Park, and I think the Best Downtown Atmosphere. So congratulations to everyone who worked very hard to make those things reality. So we're going to go to public comment in a minute. And this is not to mean to take anybody's, anyone veteran here, raise your hand, we have a few. Not to take anybody's wind out of their sails. There is going to be, I don't want to say some modifications, but this is what we are going to be voting on tonight, is my understanding. We are going to be voting on really the location of the future memorial and which direction we are going. Think of it like the Bears. Are they going to Hammond, Indiana, or are they going to Arlington Heights? Well, tonight we're going to pick a spot, okay? As far as the design and the cost, those are things that are still being determined. We have to get some numbers from the contractors. There's some revisions and designs. We want to thank Senator Craig Wilcox for his work in Springfield to get us in the state budget for a partial grant. Which, if you know anything about Springfield getting money from them, that could always be a shot in the dark. So we got to wait to see if that money is going to actually hit our account. And then, of course, the Antioch Veterans Memorial Committee with Debbie and her crew and all those involved and all the money they've raised and all the work they've put into it. And so, again, I know there's been one side versus the other, but hopefully, our goal is that it's a win for everybody. So tonight, when you leave here, I think you have some more clarity about the direction of the planning and the site. We met here 2 months ago and talked about, hey, show us the money, and some of you have shown us the money that it's going to be there. We had some feasibility studies done on this showing that, yes, it's feasible to move this over here, and now we're going through the actual construction. I also want to thank Josh and all his contractors on the patience of dealing with 18 months of all of this uncertainty. But so it's not going to be final tonight, but it's going to give a lot of direction. So I don't know if that affects any of the comments, but I do want to say that before we get in. It's my fault that it says in there break ground, because I was just trying to get this thing to the finish line, so we're not gonna be voting on like breaking ground tonight, but the attorneys and I were a little bit late because we were working on some modifications to the motion that might help the board keep moving this thing along. So with that being said, we have public comments. Madam Clerk, why don't you yeah, just obviously be courteous and you have 3 minutes on the timer to tell your points, and we are not going to respond to those comments directly. So, did I miss anything? All right, thank you.
Nancy Rentner.
Oh, yes, yeah, Ms. Renner, come up here. In the interim, I just want people to know that we did receive comment from resident former trustee Mary Dominiak that is going to be entered into the record, and the trustees all have that. And then I'll summarize some comments from trustee Pierce from the motion was called. Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Nancy Redner. I am the mother of Debbie Redner, and I just want to thank her for all the work that she has done. She started 20+ years ago on this project. She wanted to do something for the military and honor them, since nothing has ever been done here in this town for the military to honor them. So she started 20+ years ago. She worked with our former mayor, Larry Hanson, took all the thoughts and ideas, worked with him the excuse me, the entire time until he left office and Scott Gardner was elected mayor, and now she's been working with him. And she's worked very hard. She hasn't stopped. Some things have gotten her way. She's been up and down. There was a site that was chosen. They're on and by the wetlands, which would be very, very nice if it was there, because people in the park, Arden Park, would be able to see that. People coming to the band shell would see it. It would improve that part of Orchard as we go around the curve. And it would bring people to the wetlands because they would come to look at the monument that was there and eventually go into the wetlands and check that out. It's not taking away, would not take away from the wetlands at all. So that's, I just want to thank her for the hard work that has been done, and she hasn't stopped. And I haven't seen any veterans here or anywhere that has ever come forward to say, I want to do something like this for the village. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Carter Bell.
As we know, Debbie Ritter's been 20 years trying to move this project forward. For about 8 years, I've been involved with it. And really trying to get this done, but it's exhausting. It's exhausting. You'd think it would bring a community together. Instead, it seems like there's this delay. Folks are changing sites, changing designs. It's very frustrating. So more than a year ago, this board voted on March 12th by vote of 6-0 to approve the location of the Antioch Veterans Memorial at the corner of Orchard Street and Skidmore Drive. A large sign was erected on that location advertising that this was going to be where the memorial was going to be built. The ABM committee raised funds, built community support and awareness, and worked through several design changes and cost estimates that the board asked for based on this location. The Orchard Street and Skidmore Drive location with the tall trees behind the memorial would really create a majestic and beautiful view, giving people driving east on Orchard Street a full frontal view of the memorial and a daily reminder of those who have selflessly served this country. Being across the street from this award-winning Secoy Creek Park, and within a few yards of the village band shell, would integrate a Veterans Memorial into the community events that happen here downtown. It would be a centerpiece for community activities. This is the appropriate place for such a beautiful and lasting tribute to the veterans of this community. Tonight, the village board has a resolution considering moving the memorial 2 blocks west to Orchard and Toft behind the old village hall. This location is not aesthetically pleasing. It would be surrounded by parking lots, by concrete. It'd be separated from the community campus and all the village activities. It would substantially subtract from the memorial's beauty and importance and make it appear almost as an afterthought. Furthermore, I believe this proposed action makes the boards look indecisive and duplicitous. I don't use that word very often. And I practice. Moving the memorial away from the previously announced location, the center of community activities, I think is a disservice to veterans and those who have donated money for this project based on the location that this board advertised where it was going to be done. And those people who worked so hard for so many years to get this project done. And in fact, I believe sometime last year there were permits. So I urge you to reject this resolution. Thank you very much.
Debbie Brenner.
Good evening, Mayor and trustees. 20 years ago, I came to the village board and requested approval to build the Veterans Memorial. It was approved. At the same time, I asked the village to provide a piece of property to build the memorial on. It was approved. 14 years later, with Mayor Gardner as the mayor, the village identified the property for the memorial at the corner of Gigmore and Orchard. The location was approved by this board, maybe minus Jose. I'm not sure if you were on the board at the time. With the caveat that we decreased the size of the memorial. We did that. It was approved, and we moved forward. We sold the location to donors. We spent thousands of dollars on advertising and renderings and designs, not to mention the hours spent fundraising. I understand that a vote on the memorial is on the agenda for tonight. However, I have some concerns that I would like the trustees to consider. On Friday, August 21st, Andrew provided information to me verbally. He asked me at that time not to discuss the information until the trustees had the opportunity to review the information in their packets. I was provided the documentation that was provided to the trustees via email on Monday, the 24th, just this past Monday. AVM has not had the opportunity to meet and discuss the information, plans, or design presented. This is an AVM project, and I feel that we are owed the opportunity to review and provide input as to what has been provided to the trustees. Of note, this is not the final design. There are other plans in the works, and I'm wondering, will we be required to bring those plans to the board for approval? Moving the memorial to the tank will cost an additional $100,000. AVM will not be responsible for raising those funds. Yes, I'm aware there's a $227,000 grant. However, I feel that that grant should not be spent on additional costs needed to relocate the memorial to the tank site. This is an AVM project. Who will determine how the grant monies are spent? This needs to be determined prior to the vote tonight. Over the past years, members of the AVM board have received death threats, threatened with physical harm, lied about, and lied to. We have been the subjects of vile emails shared between veterans and a member of this board. Never would I have imagined this behavior, especially from veterans or veterans. I would like to publicly thank the 5 trustees of the village board who have reached out, who have spoken to me, and who have listened to me. I appreciate you, regardless of the vote. I hold no ill will. I would like to thank Clem Haley and Lyle Ferris, who, yes, they are on the other side, but they have generously met with me and listened. Finally, I'd like to thank the members of the Antioch Veterans Memorial Corporation Board, veterans Carter Bell, Chad Bourne, PJ Delp, Gary Harrison, Patrick Moore, and Tim Peinstrup, along with trustee Brent Bluthart. No matter the obstacles, they faced them head on. They have conducted themselves with honor, integrity, and dignity. They have given their personal time to fundraise and work together to bring this project to fruition. This is our project, and no matter the result tonight, we will move forward with our heads held high. And finally, bring a Veterans Memorial to Antioch, a memorial for every veteran, every family member of a veteran, and every citizen of Antioch. In closing, I was recently asked, what's more important to me, the location or the memorial? Without a doubt, the memorial has been, still is, and always will be more important to me than the location. Thank you.
Agenda item was talked about, but, I'll go ahead and just express on behalf of the veterans, both the VFW and the American Legion, it's a heartfelt thank you, to Mayor Gardner, the village board, all of our veterans in attendance, the Antioch Veteran Memorial Committee, and our entire community, in general, are coming together to move this important project forward because of the united effort. Antioch will create an everlasting, honorable Veterans Memorial, a place that will forever recognize the service, sacrifice, and courage of the men and women who have defended our freedom. And with that, I also want to give a very special thank you to State Senator Craig Wilcox for his leadership and commitment in securing the grant funding needed to help make this memorial a reality, see it through to its completion. This memorial will stand for generations as a reminder that Antioch remembers, Antioch honors, and Antioch will never forget. God bless our veterans. God bless Antioch.
All right, we have reports. I believe we have a treasurer's report. Is that correct? Floor is yours.
Trustee. Your packet was the treasurer's report for the month end of July 2026. Total cash and investments was 59,136,365. Total year-to-date revenues is 13,751,924. Total year-to-date expenditures 9,907,317. At this point of the budget, we should be at 25.21%. Everything is coming in at that. Sales tax is slightly below at 24.3. Property tax at 52.4% due to the fine all collected by the end of December. Revenues are all received on time. Sales tax, again, there's nothing compared to the year before. Commercial building permits is already 50% over budget, and water and sewer billing is up 5% from last year. And the expenditure side, the non-departmental side is trending slightly higher at this point due to bond payments.
Questions from the board? Right, good job. Thank you. Thank you. We have 5 items. 6 items on the consent agenda. I'll read them in a moment, but are there any items that are being requested to be removed from the consent agenda?
Just the minutes.
So, remove the August, okay. I have a request to remove the August 2nd minutes. Any other requests? The consent? All right, then, item number 3 on the consent agenda is approval of a resolution authorizing and approving a complete streets policy for the village of Antioch. Item 4 is approval of a resolution approving a service agreement for network maintenance between Decline Computer and the village of Antioch. Number 5 is resolution granting a Class G single event liquor license to the Antioch Lodge Loyal Order of the Moose for a Thursday concerts on September 3rd to 10th. 6 is approval of a resolution granting a single event liquor license to the VFW for the extended concert series the 3rd and the 10th of September. 7 is consideration and approval of a resolution regarding the release and non-release of closed session minutes from the village of Antioch. We have a motion and a second for items 3 through 7 on the consent agenda. Motion trustee Bluthart, second trustee Martinez. Roll call, please.
Mason,
Yes.
Luther.
Yes.
McNeil.
Yes.
Martinez,
Yes.
Four voting yes, motion carries. Item number 2, which is now on the regular agenda, is the approval of the August 12th, 2026 regular meeting minutes as presented. Do I have a motion and a second?
So moved.
Motion trustee Bluthart, second trustee Martinez, discussion.
No, I just want to let people know I wasn't here last week.
All right, roll call, please.
Mason,
Present.
yes or no?
Present. I'm gonna go with the majority.
Pass.
Abstaining then, right?
Yeah.
Luther,
Yes.
McNeil,
Yes.
Martinez,
Yes.
All right, 3 voting yes, 1 abstain, minutes are approved. Regular business, consideration, number 8, consideration and approval of payments of accounts payable as prepared by staff, the amount of $679,240.60. Do I have a motion and a second? Trustee McNeil, second trustee Martinez, and discussion on that. All right, roll call, please.
Mason.
Yes.
Luther.
Yes.
McNeil.
Yes.
Martinez.
Yes.
4 voting yes, motion carries. Item 9 is approval of a resolution authorizing the approval of expenditures in connection with travel on behalf of the village for IML, which is Illinois Municipal League Expenses Conference. Do I have a motion and a second?
Yep.
Who do we got here?
Luther.
Motion trustee Bluthart, second trustee McNeil. All right, any discussion on that? Roll call, please.
Mason,
Yes.
Luther.
Yes.
McNeil.
Yes.
Martinez.
Yes.
4 voting yes, motion carries. All right, item number 10 is consideration and approval of a resolution. Am I reading the regular?
No.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is consideration and approval of a resolution repealing resolution 25.
If I may, I'd like to hopefully save a lot of people a lot of time this evening if I could.
Oh, you got
Um,
it. He's got it. Okay.
I would there's a variety of reasons I'm gonna save us off from this discussion at this point, but I'd like to make a motion to establish the location of the Antioch Vet Memorial Project at the tank location at the corner of Toft and Orchard, with all additional approvals being subject to additional board approval.
Do I have, that's a motion of a second.
That's a good motion.
Second trustee Martinez, any discussion regarding this? Is it amended motion or is?
No, it's an independent matter.
Okay, this is independent of number 10. So we have a motion on the floor to move forward or approve continuing at this location at Orchard and Tops with the other items that come back, cost, design, et cetera. Do we
Yeah.
have a motion second? Any other discussion on that?
Yeah, I just got one thing to say. So when the original vote came out, it was 6-1. I voted no for the reason of throwing a memorial on top of another memorial. So I was abstaining vote, just to correct what you said. I did vote to make it smaller, so that was majority, but I just wanted to correct that statement.
And then we did have obviously a couple of trustees who are here tonight who are passionately involved in this discussion. Trustee Pierce did send us comments that we will put in the record, but since I believe this is going to be coming back to a committee of the whole meeting for the additional approvals, we'll put it in the record and I'll let him make these statements himself when he's back here. And then same with trustee Pierce. So I did get email, but
Whenever you're done there, I just have one more thing. Okay, I do want to say that I have reviewed the motion that trustee Bluthart made in light of what was posted on the agenda. I do find it to be in compliance. If you were here and saying, would the reasonably prudent person know that they were talking about something with regards to location of the Veterans Memorial? There's no question that item, old item, Roman numeral 9, or that Roman numeral, subset 10, is germane or somehow related and gives the public an idea of what's going on. To what trustee Bluthart there, I think there's no question. I just want to put that.
All right, so I have a motion by trustee Bluthart, second. No further discussion. If you'd like to
Say the motion.
so the motion is that we are voting tonight to continue the process of moving the memorial site to Hobbs and Orchard with the board to have final approval on the cost, design, and payment structure for that. Correct? Yeah. Yep. All right. All right. Roll call, please.
Mason,
Yes.
Luther,
Yes.
McNeil,
Yes.
Martinez,
Yes.
All right, 4 voting yes, motion carries. Now we have some cleanup here. Items number 10 and 11. We strike those and we move to
10 cell. I don't believe that would there be a motion necessary for 11? No, there's no objection to not addressing it. There's no motion on the table that needs to be moved on to 12 there.
So that was a whole lot of unexcitement, wasn't it? Number 12 is consideration and approval of a resolution authorizing the purchase of equipment and services for the village of Antioch for the public works for door locks and access controls, $36,626.87. Do I have a motion and a second? Motion trustee Mason, second trustee McNeil. Roll call, please.
Mason,
Yes.
Luther,
Yes.
McNeil,
Yes.
Martinez,
Yes.
4 voting yes, motion carries. Item 13 is consideration and approval of a resolution authorizing and approving surveillance equipment and services for the village of Antioch in the amount of $28,286.54 for the new public works. Do I have a motion and a second? Motion trustee Mason, second trustee Martinez. Roll call, please.
Mason,
Yes.
Luther,
Yes.
McNeil,
Yes.
Martinez,
Yes.
4 voting yes, motion carries. Item number 14 is consideration and approval of a resolution authorizing Rubicon Environmental to provide equipment and services for the south aeration tank, fine bubble aeration grid diffuser replacements for the village of Antioch for $33,100. Do I have a motion and a second? Motion trustee Mason, second trustee McNeil. Roll call, please.
Mason,
Yes.
Luther,
Yes.
McNeil,
Yes.
Martinez,
Yes.
4 voting yes, motion carries. Item 15 is consideration and approval of a resolution authorizing and approving professional services agreement between HR Green and the Village of Antioch for construction of the Marketplace Phase 2 to be charged back to the contractor. Do we have a motion and a second? Motion trustee Mason, second trustee Martinez. Roll call, please.
Mason,
Yes.
Luther,
Yes.
McNeil,
Yes.
Martinez,
Yes.
4 voting yes, motion carries. Next item is administrator's report, and not to put them on the spot, but I'm asking to summarize also what just happened, so everybody here is not confused when they leave here and wonder what just happened.
Okay, thank you. So, staff's direction is to continue to pursue, the Veterans Memorial at the tank site. What we intend to do is work with the folks we've been working with, Mr. Bowler, Ms. Reckner. We will meet, and HR Green, all those others that have donated their times. We will work to finalize a design. We will work with the committee on that. We will work with Mr. Bowler. Once that design is more refined, to come up with a cost estimate. It won't be an exact number, it'll be an estimate. And so when we have the design, the cost estimate, we will bring that back to the board for further consideration. We will also, in the meantime, begin the paperwork associated with the grant. And one of the number 2 question on that grant application is the location. So with the direction we have tonight, we can now proceed with the grant application, proceed with that paperwork, and identify the tank site as that location. So we will keep you updated on the grant process. The grant process is a long process. I don't want anyone to think that that's like a 30-day turnaround. There's a 12-step process to the grants. grants can take multiple years to be actually received. They're in most cases reimbursable. And none of this is unusual. I don't want to say that to be an alarmist or to scare the board that we may or may not get the grant. It's not uncommon. We work through the Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity. We will eventually be signed a grant manager, which will be our primary point of contact. And at that point, we will have the more refined scope and specification on what we need to do to satisfy that. But we will be submitting project narratives and all types of paperwork to get that process started. So tonight's direction allows us to do that. And so we should have all reasonable expectations to receive the grant funds, and we will keep you updated along the way.
Can I make just one comment? So I just want to let the audience know there was studies that had to be done at Top. There was an ask of get it $15,000 because we didn't want to take money away from the Veterans Memorial. Got that done within 24 hours. There was another ask to pay a bill for the soil boring of just, what is it, $3,400. That was done within 30 minutes. And I gotta say, who it is, it's Bob Wonderling, their group, not just them specifically, but they had a group of people, because it was important to Ainsley not to have, and the other people, her friends and whatever, not to have a memorial stacked on top of a memorial. So I want to thank them for getting that money to get this done, and the Bill Brook Memorial is going to be safe.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. So just wanted to provide the board a quick update on downtown TIF. Staff continues to work on that with SB Friedman, our consultant. And so we have a tentative schedule at this point that we would expect joint review board meeting, which is really a first key step with all the taxing districts to occur in September or October. And then that would line up for this village board to consider final adoption of a TIF district, subject to that process and those deliberations, but that would come before you in January when we're anticipating that for the downtown TIF district. We're also talking with EM8, who we have a letter of intent with, and keeping them informed as well as we pursue them. Wanted to note that the Thursday night concerts, you all just approved a liquor license associated with, but just a little bit of background. So that was the 2 Hype Crew concert got canceled because of smoke and poor air quality. So that was scheduled for September 10th. So with that, we had a gap of the week of September 3rd. So we had filled the gap with an additional concert. We've been able to do that. That wasn't originally contemplated, but it allows for seamless concert series. So those are the liquor license. Of course, you just approved that. That's how we got to one additional concert, but extending the season to September 10th. Wanted to note that we also, in your board packet, you had a lot of material about the flock cameras, the policies that our police department utilized to ensure that those are used properly and the data is not shared inappropriately or misused in any way. So there was a lot of background information for you, but wanted to note that 2 of the cameras in town have been vandalized. So one of them is back up and running, the other one's under repair, and that's not unique to the Village of Antioch. This has been occurring throughout Lake County in recent weeks, but also throughout the country. And so we will be pursuing a repair. It'll cost about $3,000 to get the camera back up and running. And the police department's working to review whether or not we go with a protection plan to cover vandalism, because that's currently not covered. We have to pay that out of pocket. But we'll do a cost benefit to see if that makes sense. So just wanted everyone to be aware of that expense and the vandalism that occurred on those cameras. And then in the packet was a letter from FQC, that's the village's construction manager for the new public works facility. And just wanted to note that the mayor and staff, Dennis, our director of public works, as well as others, are working with Lake County DOT to do everything we can to urge them to expedite our permanent access on North Avenue so that we can keep that project on schedule and within budget, because the letter had stated something to the effect that it could incur cost overruns and delays due to the delay in the permitting right now. So we are working through that process. And then last thing I wanted to know, thank you to the chief for bringing this to my attention today. He brought me breaking news that Governor Pritzker signed an e-bike regulation bill into law today. We've been waiting for this. It's been a Senate bill sitting there on his desk, but was not signed until today. And so there are new restrictions on devices that go over 28 miles an hour that take effect January 1st of next year. It will require driver's licenses, insurance, vehicle registrations for those types of devices that go over 28 miles an hour. And you must be 16 years old to ride the Class 3 e-bikes and e-scooters. So there's other nuances in there. We'll be providing you information in the Friday distribution as well. But I know that's something we've been interested in waiting for, so that was signed into law today. I guess the last comment I'll make is just related to Ms. Retner's conversation. So thank you for the public comment and mentioning our conversation on Friday. I just do want to inform the board and for the public to know that we send out Friday distributions to the board, and my role as an administrator when we are preparing those documents is we always want to get those to you in a timely manner on the Friday afternoon, but we always want to make sure that the board has the information first. So I obviously Ms. Retner's on the ground floor working to create the Veterans Memorial on this particular topic, so she had some of that information for the meeting. But my role will always be to make sure that the village board has the information before it goes out public. It is public information, so it's not something we are withholding from the public, but we wanted you all to have the opportunity to review the information before you get questions from the public asking you things that you have not seen yet. So that is a best practice, a standard of practice, and something that I will ensure happens. And so that's why Ms. Redner got the report on Monday and you all got the report on Friday. Thank you.
Questions from the board, village clerk, do you have any items? Any trustee report?
Yes. Mine's gonna be. So people in Heron Harbor are talking about interest in the park. That's next to Heron Harbor. So I would like the Parks Board, Village Board to start figuring out what they want to do. Heron Harbor is one of the only subdivisions in the PUD with no park. So we got to figure out how to utilize that property.
And
We're gonna have residents come to the next meeting probably, and do a big ask.
I believe 2 staff meetings ago, Park Director Kalasi said that she was starting to put together some investigation into, the path and some other.
Yeah, so we gotta let the residents know they're gonna come to the meeting.
Okay.
The second one, since we just figured out where the tank is gonna go, is the Brook Memorial. That place is just dilapidated. There's just overgrown weeds, and I just wanna know who's the responsibility to clean up the weeds. And even 2 meetings ago, I said, I forgot which lady, I said, do you feel safe going outside? Because there were some people walking back here, and we gotta get some security cameras back at that park, just to make it safe for everybody. So that's my 2 asks.
Thank you. See Luther?
Yeah, I just wanna say, I couldn't be prouder of the work that Dave and Ben has put towards this memorial project. Especially these 2 individuals sitting here tonight, Deb and Carter. Both veterans, both have done an amazing job. This is something that should have united this community, and all it did was divide it. There's enough blame to go around on a million fronts on that, but it got out of hand and crazy. I think it's time that we, as a board, unite and work as a sole purpose, which is for the betterment of Antioch and our residents. We're not gonna agree on everything all the time, but we don't need to make every issue and make it a personal issue, every issue, and drag it through the mud and rumors and innuendos and all the crap that goes along with it. I still, to this day, believe that the existing location of the original location is the better position, but the board had a different opinion. I get that. But now let's work as a board to work to design that memorial so it's the best memorial we can with the money that's been raised. Hopefully this grant, and I thank the senator for getting us this money, comes through and we have the funds available to build this. But I also say this, we still need to raise money. Don't think this is done. So I'm asking everyone here that wanted this Veterans Memorial by the tank and who have been fighting for it, you've got what you wanted now. Now let's work together and raise the money so we can build this and do it right and build it in a way that makes all of you proud, the whole community proud, AVM proud, this village board proud. Let's get together on this and stop fighting about it. You've got the location you wanted. Now let's take it to the next step. We need to raise more money to build this. Even with that grant, we might be short. So let's dig it down. Let's come up with some ways to raise money. Let's do this so that the AVM and the village can work together and get this thing built as soon as possible. I mean, it'd be great if we can get it next spring, but we'll see. But it's a matter of money. And I think now is the time for us to come together on this and work forward. And hopefully there will be no negativity thrown out there or anything else about this moving forward. Let's work together and build it. Everyone's goal was to build that memorial. It was just an argument over 100 yards down the road this way or a couple hundred yards down the road this way. There are various reasons why people chose to want it at the tank location. I get that. You're not wrong. I'm not right. We all have our opinions. But now that it's been done for the second time, we voted unanimously to approve the site plan or at least the location. Let's stick to it now. Let's raise the additional funds and move forward. That's all I ask.
Very good, very good.
Mayor, I'd like to just mention that I've been stopping in at open mic on Wednesdays. They have what's called the Cup of Joe, where veterans go in and sit down and converse amongst themselves. And I'd like to thank them for allowing me the opportunity to come in and just pick their brain regarding this issue. And so I just wanted to say that that is one of the main reasons why I followed their suggestions. And that is available to all veterans every Wednesday from 5 to 7.
You sing?
Do you want me to? English is fast.
Did you write a song?
I'll write a song. I'll write the song.
All right, yeah. All right, well, thank you for everybody for your, thoughtfulness and getting through this meeting and this process. Again, I want to thank Debbie and the Veterans Committee and Carter and Brent and all the veterans that got involved, and the board and the staff that works hard at this. But also, we all should be thanking Josh Bowler because for a couple of years now, he sat back here with, not really giving much direction. He's kept those volunteers and donation groups together, and he's a local guy, and he agreed to do this a couple of years ago. So again, no good deed goes unpunished again. But again, thank you, Josh, for taking it. Any other business? All right. Otherwise, no request for executive session. Entertain a motion in a second. Motion 15 Field, second 15 Martinez. All in favor? Any opposed? We are adjourned at 7:31.